What's up everyone? Today I am going to be doing a bookish inspired cooking video, which means that I usually pick a book to read that has like food or recipes in it, and then once I'm finished reading the book, I usually make one of the recipes or try and like replicate one of the foods that is in the book. I've done this I think 3 other times now, so I will link the playlist down below in case you're interested in watching some of my other videos that I did. For today's video, I'm gonna be reading Mad Honey by Jodi Picoult and making one of the recipes from this book, because in the back of this book there are recipes that involve honey, and I am 33 weeks pregnant, so I actually wish I could have one of the cocktails in here, but maybe in the summertime I'll have to come back to this book and make one of the cocktails because I cannot have that right now. I am a huge Jodi Picoult fan. I have been working my way through a bunch of her titles that I've been interested in. This is her newest release. I believe it came out last year, and this is co-written with Jennifer Bolin, so I'll have to see how I like this compared to just her other books that I've read that were written like just from her. It says Olivia feels like she has to start over, her picture perfect life living in Boston, married to a brilliant surgeon of some sort, raising their beautiful son Asher, when her husband reveals a darker side. And then I guess there's this other character, Lily, and I think Lily falls in love with Olivia's son Ash, and things are happening. I don't know, there says something about a father's temper in Ash, so I'm not incredibly sure. There seems to be kind of a lot going on, but also not a lot going on. But I feel that way with a lot of Jodi's books. I feel like her synopsises don't really tell you much about the story, and the story is a lot better when you're reading it. I usually have my friend Lena like tell me, I'll be like, hey, do you think I'm gonna like this book? And she's like, oh yeah, that one's about blah 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 blah, and I'm like, okay, good, because the synopsis did not tell me that. So I'm actually going to start listening to this book. I don't think I'm gonna get it finished today because it does seem fairly large, but I'm actually about to work on a freezer meal prep video for my main channel. I did one last week, and so what I try and do is I prep freezer meals for an entire week in just one day, and I'm doing that in preparation for my first baby, because like I said, I am 33 weeks pregnant. So I figured it would be great for me to start listening to this book while I am busy like throwing meals together. Okay, it is officially 10 minutes until 4 o'clock, and I am tired. So I did all of my freezer meal prep, and then I vacuumed the house and mopped because I had like a bunch of just stuff all over the floor. Like I accidentally spilled coconut oil on the floor. It was just a mess. So I did the cleaning, and then I took a walk because I need to be going on daily walks, and I didn't want to make any excuses because of me like meal prepping and stuff, and it's such a nice day out. It's like 63 degrees out. So I took a walk. I called my dad during the walk, which was good because that was on my list to do. And then I just took a shower and put on my like compression socks and pajamas, so that way I can lay down and be cozy the rest of the day. Alvin should be getting us takeout for dinner, which is great because of, you know, I'm way too tired now to cook an actual meal for dinner, but my freezer meal prep turned out fantastic. And I ended up getting a good chunk of the way into Mad Honey. I believe I might be 30%, let me check. I am 34% in. I am really enjoying it so far. Every time I start a Jodi Picoult book, I just always forget how great her writing style is and how much I love her characters, because I'm not a character-driven type reader. It's actually really hard for me to read books with like a lot of characters or even like a lot of dialogue, except for Jodi's books. Like I just absolutely love the way that she writes her characters, and I feel like they just seemed like such real people to me. The other cool thing about this book is that this is the first time that I've really noticed characters showing up like from one of her other books. So Jordan, who I believe was the defense attorney in 19 Minutes, which is about the school shooting, he shows up in this book. Like, he's actually a pretty big character. He is actually the brother to one of our main characters in here, which is just kind of cool to see, like, full circle of things. And there's also like mention in here of him like having done the case for the school shooting in 19 minutes. So I really, really love the parallels that I'm seeing. I know a bit more about the book and kind of like what the synopsis is. And if you've ever read The Pact by Jodi Picoult, this one does feel kind of similar, because Olivia, who is the like lady that keeps all the bees and stuff, her son Asher is being charged with murder. He's being charged with murdering Lily, who was his like girlfriend at the time. And so right now we're not like quite in the court scene yet, but he is in jail as the main suspect for this like potential murder. And so that reminds me a lot of The Pact, because in The Pact, it was a girlfriend and boyfriend, and they weren't sure if it was murder or if it was suicide. And that is very similar to this premise. The Pact was actually my first Jodi Picoult book, and I did enjoy it. And it actually like left a like impression on me, just because it was one of those books that like I just kept thinking about, but it was a little long-winded. So I'm curious to see if I'm going to like this version of it better. Not that it's gonna be like the exact same. I also really enjoy like the beekeeper and like the bee historical facts and stuff. I really like honey, and it would be really cool one day to like own bees. I feel like that would be awesome. I also have like beeswax candles. Like, this is an actual pure beeswax candle, and I have one right here, you can probably see, and there's another one, you might not be able to see the other one. There's another one like right there, but those are like pure beeswax. And so it's just really cool to see like what it's like to own bees, raise bees, harvest, whatever it would be called. So I am really glad that I am enjoying this book so far. I wouldn't say there's anything that's really like super sticking out to me with like regards of why I would like this book compared to like some of the other 5 stars that I've had from her. But I have kind of heard that there is a big twist, I guess. Jodi pretty much always writes big twists in her books, and I absolutely love them, because a lot of times they're even better than like thriller twists. So I am looking forward to seeing like what that twist is. But other than that, it's been just a very entertaining book. Like, I had no problem paying attention to it while I was doing my meal prep. And so if you're like looking for just like a really good, even audiobook, because that's what I'm listening to, but just like a book to, you know, really get your attention, and like, you know, you're wondering like, is this a murder, is this a suicide? Like, she just does a really good job with it. So I am actually going to relax a little bit and probably play some Stardew Valley, because I just started playing it again. I've been trying to like make a little bit of relaxation time for me before baby shows up. And then I might actually read a little bit more of Mad Honey this evening before Alvin would get home. I'll have to just play it by ear. I'm not sure if he's getting home early because of it being Valentine's Day. I don't know if I even mentioned that it's Valentine's Day today, but I'm sure that he and I will watch like a show or something, because we love watching like our evening shows together.
Welcome, what can I get started for you?
Hi, can I get a grande brown sugar shaken espresso with oat milk? And
yeah, of course.
Can I get 2 pumps of toffee nut in that? And then also the sweet cream cold foam?
Yeah. Is that on for you?
Yes, that's it.
$7.86, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Thank you. You too, thanks. Okay, I totally did not realize my camera battery is dying. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I went to 2 appointments this morning, and I stopped by Starbucks. This was recommended by Rally Reviews on YouTube. She said get brown sugar shaken espresso with oat milk, 2 pumps of toffee nut, and then she did a splash of sweet cream. I did the sweet cream cold foam, but this is for my punishment. I had to order a complicated drink at Starbucks as a punishment for my TBR game. And yeah, that definitely felt like just so much to say, because like normally I just get like a flat white, but this looks very, very delicious. Let me see if I can taste this before my camera battery dies. Wow, this is like coffee dessert. Tastes so good. but this was almost $8. Like, oh my gosh, prices of everything are going up. And I saw recently that like now Starbucks, instead of getting a free drink at 150 stars, now you have to have 200 stars. Really quick before my battery dies, I have been listening to Mad Honey by Jodi Picoult, and it is so good. I got to a twist. I don't know if there's more than one, but I am 49% into Mad Honey right now, and I still have like a 45-minute drive home. I also quick grabbed like a double cheeseburger at McDonald's because I have been awake since 7:30. My first appointment was at 9 and it is now 11:30 and I still have like an hour drive home. So I was like starving. So I'm gonna quick eat this food and drink my coffee. And I did get a few things. I stopped by Target really quick in between appointments, but I'll show you guys that when I get home. That way it doesn't cut off because of my camera battery. Okay, I am now home and I put a new battery into my camera. So this drink is so delicious. I just wish it wasn't so expensive, but it is like exactly so good, like what I wanted. And then at Target, I got this basket for like diaper changing caddy. I had looked at it before and I decided not to get it. But I actually, like that was a few months ago. I kept thinking about it and I actually wanted to try it out and see if I like it up in the nursery. I will be using it down here when she's first born. But the original like container that I got to use as her diaper caddy, I actually think I want to use that as my like little postpartum basket next to the toilet because it's very like skinny and I feel like then I can keep like my supplies in it. So I think I'm gonna switch this and put like diapers and wipes and stuff in here. I was gonna get like a wipe holder thing, like a weighted one. If I like the wipes and the diapers in here up in her dresser, then I probably won't get one. I'm gonna keep the receipt just in case, but like this was $25 and like the container that I was gonna get for like the wipes, like a weighted wipe one, it's not even a warmer, is $20. So I was like, maybe I should just get a nicer basket. Then I also got this rainbow crib sheet, which I love, and rainbows is kind of like the theme since this is my rainbow baby. That's usually what you call baby after a loss. And then I got her one outfit because I wanted to look at their like spring outfits and stuff. But this was the only one that I really loved. So it's a cute little dress. I love it, and it has a little bow. I got this in 3 to 6 months, so that way it's still summer and she would be able to wear it. But yeah, I love that. So that was just a quick Target haul that I had done in between my appointments. I'm probably gonna throw this stuff in the washing machine and go up and like put that upstairs and see like what it looks like, because if not, then I'll just put it back in my car and return it right away. But it is such a nice day outside. Like, let me just show you. It is so incredibly beautiful, and I just washed my cushion for my chair, so I'm actually going to put my cushion out there and we're gonna like sit outside for a little bit and read. Okay, so this is what I had for the diaper caddy, but I am loving this. I went ahead and opened her newborn diapers. Look how cute these are. These are from the Honest Company, I think. They are so adorable. And then I just put a pack of wipes so far, and I just have this lotion. I don't have any diaper cream yet. I need to grab diaper cream and the like spreader thing. I forget what they're called, but I'll probably put those in there. And I just really love this, and it's very light. I love how easy it is. So I'm gonna cut the tag off because this is staying. I really love how it looks with everything else. I think it fits very, very well. Okay, hello. It is a new day, and I kind of look like a bum, but that's because I've just been getting a lot more exhausted, like quicker. It's hard for me to be like very productive during the day. I'm almost 34 weeks pregnant, and I'm also dealing with a little bit of some high blood pressure issues. When my midwife came last week, I had a high blood pressure reading for the first time, and I went and got like a cuff, and I've been like tracking it, and like throughout the day, Sometimes I'll have really good numbers and then sometimes it'll be high again. I am doing research and figuring out like certain things for me to do in order to keep it low because I don't want to risk out from having my home birth. Obviously, if like something bad would happen, like we would not be doing a home birth, but we did like check my urine to make sure there was no protein in it, and there wasn't. And I don't have a headache, I don't have any stomach pain, I don't have any swelling. So the only thing that I have right now is occasional high blood pressure. So as long as all of that continues to look good, then hopefully I don't get diagnosed with preeclampsia. But in saying that, I've just been, you know, much more tired. I guess I should say like in certain doses I'll get really tired. Sorry, I'm using my laminator so it's like making a little bit of a noise. But I am working on some TBR cards because I need to get some orders done. I also have a lactation class I'm going to tonight with Alvin. And this morning I had actually worked on finishing up some of my freezer meal stuff that I was working on the other day. But I have been listening to Mad Honey a lot. So I am 70% into Mad Honey, which is just crazy to think because it is a pretty like long audiobook and a pretty big book, but I am having no problem getting through it just because I'm loving it so much. Yesterday, I think the last time I filmed, I think was when my battery was dying, maybe. Well, I think I like showed you guys some of the baby stuff I got, but then I never did like update you because when my battery was dying, I had gotten to like the big twist, I guess, that happens in the book, and I definitely did not see that coming. I don't think anyone could have seen it coming, but that twist definitely does make things different than the Pact and how the Pact was. I'm not sure exactly like what people would think about the twist. I feel like some people probably wouldn't like the book because of the twist. I'm actually really enjoying it, and I am so curious to see like how this book is going to end and to see, yeah, was it a murder? Was it a suicide? Like what's going on? I just feel like that is so interesting to see. And I love how when like Jodi writes her books, like you'll get kind of like little tidbits, but you kind of feel like you are, you know, the people at the court scene like trying to figure out like what actually happened, because like you don't know what actually happened. And I think that that is what makes it so good, is the fact that you don't know what the real story is until you get to the end of the book anyway. I have noticed some of the talk of some of the recipes in the back. They talked about like a honey cake, I think, or what's it called? Hope cake? It was called something like that. And I think that that's a recipe in the back. And I think that's one of the recipes that I really wanted to make. I haven't like officially figured out what I'm making yet. I feel like I don't really have much else to say just because I can't give you the gist of my thoughts without, number one, having read the whole book yet, but also just with like that twist came like, you know, at 50%, like much earlier than I expected it to. And I don't want to give it away at all because I feel like that was such a big part of the book and the story now. But I'm going to continue listening to it while I work on these cards. I'm not sure exactly how long I'm going to work on this stuff because then I probably need to lay down again before I would get ready for my lactation class. Well, who are we kidding? I'm literally going to show up like this because I have no shame. Okay, it has been a few days because I've been doing other things rather than filming this vlog. Anyway, I finished Mad Honey. I am going to give it 4 stars. I thought it was really good, but not my favorite Jodi Picoult. I will talk about my thoughts, but I really need to figure out what recipe I'm going to be making for this video. I'm sorry if you hear that. It's really windy and I have the windows open, so the like curtains are like hitting the window and stuff, or the wall. Back here in the recipe section we have, it's so windy, it's blowing my camera. A honey loaf. I remember her talking about the honey loaf. Or no, maybe it was the hope cakes. No, it was the honey loaf. I remember her talking about that. Sifted flour, salt, baking powder, baking soda, cinnamon, nutmeg, ground cloves, ginger, eggs, sugar, oil, honey, coffee, and walnuts. That sounds so good. That's a lot though. It makes 2 loaves. I guess I could half it. I kind of really want to make the honey loaf because it sounded really good in the book when she was talking about it. I think I'm gonna do that instead of the custard, just because I don't have my ice cream maker thing frozen. And so that would take like a whole day of having it in the freezer. And I'm not sure if I even have freezer space because of all my postpartum meal prep. So we are gonna make the honey loaf. Okay, let's try and make this honey loaf. Preheat oven to 325. I'm gonna grab a loaf pan here and a bowl to mix. Okay, we are going to mix eggs and sugar. So, nope, we're halving it. 2 eggs and a little bit less than half a cup of sugar. I'm gonna brew some coffee in my Keurig really quick. I'm gonna use a Cafe Bustelo pod because it's espresso and I want the coffee to be like strong. Okay, let's whisk these eggs up here. I'm just gonna do a 1/4 cup of sugar because I would prefer this to be not super sweet. Okay, now we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of oil and a cup of honey. So, 2 tablespoons of oil, and I don't really want to dirty a cup. So we're going to, again, eyeball this honey here. I don't want to dump the coffee in because I don't want to cook the egg yolks. Okay, I think that was good. Okay, now we're gonna add the dry ingredients. 2 cups of flour. Do a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And then we're going to do our spices. Cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, and ginger. Eyeball what I have here. And we're going to add nuts. It calls for walnuts, but I don't know if I have any. Let me see what I have. We don't have very many nut options here. I have pistachios. That actually might be really good. Pumpkin seeds, macadamia nuts, and almonds. So maybe we'll do pistachios. Pistachio honey loaf. Now I'm going to just butter my pan here. Ooh, our oven is ready. Now we're going to pour this in here. Okay, so this is what it looks like. We're gonna go ahead and put it in our oven. And it says bake for 50 minutes or until browned. We're gonna try a little bit of this loaf because I need to eat dinner and not just bread. It smells very, very good. I think it would be probably really good with butter, but I wanted to try it just plain first. I love how the top is crispy, but then the inside is like very soft. And I love that it's not very sweet. The coffee gives it like almost like a molasses flavor, which I love molasses so much. So between like the coffee and the honey, I feel like you get that molasses flavor. And this would be so good with like tea or coffee. The nuts in it, very, very good as well. All those spices just taste so good with that coffee flavor. So that recipe, very delicious. I think that if you like not very sweet desserts or bread, if you love eating something very comforting with your like tea or coffee, definitely make that because that is a good recipe from here. It would probably be even really good with like a glaze over top of it if you did need that extra sweetness. I told you earlier that I gave this book 4 stars. The unfortunate part of it is I feel like I can't really explain what this book is about just because the main topic of this book is kind of a big twist in the book. So I can't really bring up like the topics of it because I feel like that gives too much of it away. Essentially, this is about Asher and Lily, who are teenagers that were dating, and Lily ends up dead with Asher having been the one that was at her house when she died. So he is the main murder suspect. Asher's mom is the one that owns bees and does all the honey, and I felt like all of the like honey and bee topics were actually very interesting. I didn't feel like it was too much information or like too much research involved. It was just kind of like around, you know, like splattered around in other paragraphs and like the dialogue and stuff. So I was worried about that because of this being called like Mad Honey, and I knew it involved bees. I was like, well, I hope I'm not just reading a book like about bees. But I think that the way that it was written was done really well. I definitely was intrigued on figuring out what actually happened to Lily. Like, did Asher actually kill her? Did she commit suicide? Did something else happen? I felt like the court scenes were really good again in this one because that's one of the things I love about Jodi. The twist is a very important topic. I know some people might not enjoy it, but I felt like I learned a lot from it. Now, the reason I rated it 4 instead of 5 stars is because it just didn't have as much thrill as some of her other books. Like, I wasn't surprised by the ending at all, and I felt like the last like tiny twist at the end, I was just fine without that even happening. I think that they were just trying to add like an extra twist in here just because of the fact that that first twist kind of happened so early on, but I don't really feel like it was needed. I was just satisfied with how the story was going, but it definitely isn't my like all-time favorite Jodi Picoult, just because it wasn't deep for me, I guess, is what I should say. I don't know. It's hard to explain without knowing what the actual topic is, but I learned a lot from it. I thought it was a very decent read. I love the audiobook. 4 stars. Make the loaf bread. That's all I have to say for this, but I'm just glad that I love Jodi as an author and that her books keep being pretty good for me. Yeah, okay, we're gonna end this here because I gotta get started making dinner, but I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye everyone.